Alright, hello everybody! Welcome back to Arknights. I've been putting this off for far too long, both in general and today specifically. I meant to start this at least 1 hour ago, if not 2, but par for the course for me, eh? I'm really bad at motivating myself to do things. Arknights is a bit of a big one for me, because I love the game, but the cutscenes are so long, and I already spend a lot of my regular days reading, so I'm just so burned out on reading by the time I get to Arknights, but I want so badly to read the stories in this game, and this is one that has my attention. That said, you might have seen the title where it says, I'm a bad chef. And, yeah, so I tried grilling my first burger today. And, I undercooked it. Despite the fact that I was cooking it for like a straight half hour, it came out undercooked. I eventually had to nuke it in a microwave because I didn't realize that it was genuinely undercooked until after I'd already taken a few bites out of it and like put the cheese and ketchup and such on it. Came out alright after the microwave. It's actually pretty good, but yeah. The other strange part about me being a bad cook is the barbecue was already on when I went to cook it. Somebody must have used the barbecue at some point and accidentally left it on, which is not good, but thankfully things went mostly okay, aside from the fact that I just couldn't seem to heat it up enough. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna be trying again later this week. I'll admit I'm feeling pretty bloated right now, though, and I have to hope that's not me getting sick from something that was in the burger. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying. I've already been doing that enough. Let's see if I can do more than one mission tonight without going until 2 in the morning. Got here on time to hear the barbecue was already on. Well, you missed most of the story, unfortunately. I was wondering why you weren't responding. I thought you'd get a kick out of it. What I said was that I tried grilling my first burger today, and I managed to undercook it after trying to grill it for like a half hour. I guess I just didn't have the grill hot enough, though it seemed like no matter what I did, I couldn't get it hot enough, for whatever reason. So once I confirmed it was undercooked after taking a couple bites into it with the cheese and ketchup already on it, I took my roommate's suggestion and nuked it in the microwave, and that worked really well, actually. It was pretty good after that, but what type of grill? Classic porch barbecue. But the thing I was getting to is when I went out to turn on the grill, I found that it was already on. So whoever had used it last must have forgotten to turn it off. I don't know if that had anything to do with the temperature being oddly low or what. But it's not going to be the last time I try this week, so hopefully next time will go better. May have been running out of gas. Maybe. My roommate checked the tank and said it still had gas in it. But I wouldn't know. I'm new to grilling. I don't know how heavy the tank is supposed to be and how heavy it is when it's empty. Oh well. We'll see. If it happens a second time, at least I know I can microwave it afterward to surprising success. Anyway, I meant to start this forever ago, so let's get into this. I was also saying the primary reason that I'm so bad at getting to these Arknights streams lately is just because I do so much reading throughout my week already, and then playing Arknights and focusing on the story means at least another hour of reading but this time usually without entertaining humor to keep it interesting. A good chunk of it is characters being very thoughtful about various things in various ways. I don't know. It's just not quite the same. The story in Arknights is fantastic. It just drags on so much. And I don't really have time for that. If it was like 10-minute cutscenes for each mission in the game, I would play it I would read it so much more. It would be so much easier. I've made that suggestion multiple times in the surveys that they sometimes ask for. They haven't changed things yet! Alright, let's get into this. Give the stove god malt sugar candy on the 23rd of the 12th lunar month, so he reports only the good things when he goes back to heaven. What, there's nothing else that can be counted as a good thing? Oh my gosh, this map is adorable. Like, I don't know how else to say it. This map looks adorable. This is a cute map. It's so small. So homely looking. And peaceful. I'd eat here. Looks like the only way to the exit is right here, so that's where the guards are gonna go. I think I'll go ahead and run the same team, because why not? It's high autumn. The courtyard is silent. Its long, thick walls prevent outside noise from coming in. It's empty, save for an old persimmon tree leaning against the wall in the shade, with its old crown extending over the top of the wall. This place looks beautiful. That pre-rain or post-rain piece is what I'm seeing here. No one knows what this old tree has witnessed over the years. We do know that since its planting, it has turned red and green and red again, as the seasons have flown by. Each year, bright red, fresh persimmons grow from its branches, and each year, these beautiful fruits wipe away old memories of previous harvests. The old man sits under the tree, sleeping in the shade. That's an old man? Grandfather? Grandfather? What? Chiku? You're back? I'm assuming that's pronounced Chiku. Yes, I got delayed a bit on the way back, but thankfully I made it in time for the Mid-Autumn Festival. I've been thinking a lot these past few days. I've been watching the persimmons grow redder and redder. I was afraid that if you didn't come back soon, we wouldn't be able to eat them together this year. I don't remember what voice I gave this guy before. I'm not sure how many more harvests I will live to see. If you had come back any later, you may not have even seen me here. Grandfather. Ning Chiku decides not to crack any jokes, as she usually would have done. She looks at the old man closely. He seems to have a few new wrinkles on his forehead this time. The autumn wind blows suddenly, ruffling the old man's hair. We completed our trial of Da Wong's first mobile plate last month. I've finished up my work at the Ministry of Rights for now, so they allowed me 2 weeks vacation. You've worked really hard. I heard about the goings-on in Da Wong as soon as they happened. I've detailed all my criticisms in my letters. I know you were involved in the disaster relief effort as well, but every Yanese Mandarin is duty-bound to protect the people. As an assistant minister of the Ministry of Rights, You must take responsibility for the poor management here. Deducting half a year's pay is letting you off easy. You have nothing to complain about.
Of course I shall not complain, and I take my errors to heart.
Chikyu, you must remember, do not focus on what you've already done. Focus on what you still haven't done yet. As a magistrate, you must carry out the orders of your superiors, while winning over and maintaining the trust of those below you, the citizens. In your position, everything you do is only what was expected of you in the first place. However, should you fail in even the slightest of your responsibilities, it would be an unforgivable transgression. If you do not understand this, you are not fit to wear your magisterial robes.
Devote all your energy to the cause, as that is all you have to give. I still remember the words you taught me so many moons ago. I shall take this mistake to heart, but I shan't despair. Quitting now would really be shirking my responsibilities. What's the failure they're talking about? I guess it doesn't say. Some shenanigans in Da Wong, I guess.
Yes. Okay, I've said enough on this for now. I am not in your position, nor do I work in the Ministry of Rights. Therefore, I have no right to interfere. Now, I am more worried about your injury. Are you well?
Do not worry, grandfather. I recovered quite some time ago.
Broken bones take at least 3 months to heal, so please take caution. In a few days after you get settled, make the time to go see a doctor. An old friend of mine gave me medicine patches. I'll give you some to take back home with you.
Very well, grandfather.
You kids are always making me worry. I'm just about to move back to my old hometown. My son and daughter never come to see me, and your sister is never home. Everyone's forgotten me.
What you say about my sister sounds true, but as far as you being forgotten, forgive me, but these past few days you've closed your door to all visitors.
This again. Kids these days, you don't have your priorities straight, do you? I haven't had a single moment of peace in this courtyard since the beginning of last month. The youth today are clever, dare not knock on my door to offer me wine or tea. Instead, they've started watering my flowers, my poor hydrangeas. I spent so long growing them, and these kids have already drowned 3 pots this year.
You've had so many visitors lately. I'd wager the minister came and showed you the draft guest list of the feast, didn't he? It's rare to see the true Long even once a year. I'm sure many would treasure the chance to learn the latest court gossip.
I have no reason to meet the young lad. He's a minister, after all. What does he need my input for?
Come now, grandfather. You served for decades in the Ministry of Rights. Your achievements were many, and your legacy is secure.
That's all in the past. If we keep focusing on the past, how will we deal with the present?
Mr. Ning, you have a guest.
I told you, no visitors. Who is it, anyways? He says he is the advisor of Yumen.
Hmm?
The advisor of Yumen? Never heard of him. I don't care who he is. I said no visitors, and I meant it.
Grandfather, wait a moment. Might the advisor be here to see me?
Good sir, our master is not accepting visitors right now. Please come back another time.
Please tell Ning, your master, that an old friend is here.
Sir, no offense, but judging by your age, are you sure you're an old friend of the master's? It's true. I dare not make up stories. Sir, please, be on your way. The master is not accepting any guests right now. If you really are an old friend, then I'm sure you wouldn't want to cause trouble, would you?
Mr. Liang? Do you not recognize me?
Miss Ning! It's been a while. I heard you just returned to Baizhou. I wanted to see you.
Liang Shun... Shun? I wish I knew this pronunciation. Liang Shun's eyes shift from Miss Ning to the figure standing behind her, the kindly old man.
Don't just stand there, Shi-Q. Invite your friend in for a bit.
Well...
What's the matter? Why isn't anyone eating? I feel like the third wheel here, and an old one at that. Maybe I'll just step away for a moment and the two of you can enjoy your meal. No, you've got it all wrong. It's us young kids who are intruding on your magisterial greatness.
Grandfather, don't scare him like that.
I'm only kidding, Lang Shun, I assure you. When Shi-Q was still in Changshu, she used to write me letters talking about a magistrate there who was both supremely talented and dedicated to his people. Today, I finally got to meet him.
When did I...
It's my birthday in 3 days. I wasn't planning to go through the trouble of organizing a grand party or anything. So today, eating dinner and chatting with you two youths is how I will celebrate my birthday. Let us wish many more years of health and life to your greatness.
Hear, hear, Grandfather. Many happy returns.
All right, enough of that. Let's eat.
I almost missed that he has cat ears under his antlers, which suggests they're not cat ears, but I don't know, deer ears? He does seem to have deer of some kind on his shirt.
Lang Shun, I thought you were a magistrate from Changshu. Why have I now heard that you are the advisor of Yumen? And why have you traveled from Yumen all the way to Baizhou? Yumen's journey was a long one, and the people once living in Yumen have been resettled in batches in different nomadic cities along the route as planned. The last group settled down in Baizhou a few days ago. Wasn't Yumen patrolling the northwestern corridor? How did you end up all the way over here in Baizhou?
Dear Grandfather, have you forgotten? Yumen changed its route at the beginning of this year. The new route it was traveling on took it right to Baizhou. As for why Yumen traveled to Baizhou, surely you remember that.
Ah, yes. Because of that same old problem again. All those years of fighting and still no resolution. It's been so long since I retired, and sometimes I still hear those voices in my nightmares. It gives me a headache. It's a problem that's existed for several millennia now.
Sometimes issues resolve with the passage of time. Other times, they get worse. Now, I think we need to find a way to solve it. Grandfather, do you have any ideas?
Me? Of course not. If I were to try and intervene, people would accuse me of being a dictator. I let a little bit of a southern accent slip into the word dictator there. Whoops.
Not necessarily. The minister has been coming to see you every few days or so. Ever few days or so? He never mentioned this to you?
Miss Ning, there are some things which your grandfather must keep private, you know. My grandfather sure is direct, that's for sure. No matter, I am an ordinary citizen now. I am free to speak as I please without fear of divulging secrets, because I do not know any secrets. As for this matter, however, I must defer to the advice of the young. Well, Liang Shun, what's your solution? I dare not propose any grand solution. However, there is one thing I know. The best strategy is to disrupt your enemy's strategy. From the court's perspective, war has no upsides, only downsides. From the people's perspective, war means death and destruction. The best strategy is to disrupt your enemy's strategy. That makes sense. But if we also always followed this reasoning, the true Lung would not have started the Great Hunt 1,000 years ago, and Yan would never have experienced a millennium of prosperity. Times change, and circumstances change. It's hard to compare things across different historical eras. Uh-oh, here comes the Yans already. That war 1,000 years ago was called the Great Hunt, but it wasn't really a hunt. It was the Yanni's people wresting their future from the hands of the quote-unquote gods. Retreating even just a little bit would have resulted in their extinction. However, things are different now. We are operating from a place of strength. We can and must avoid war at all costs. We cannot allow our soldiers and civilians to suffer any further. Very well said, young man. You are far more skilled than I ever was, that's for sure. Goodness, no. Forgive me for being so bold, your magisterial greatness. That's a bit of a mouthful, magisterial greatness. You say war should be avoided, and I agree. Well then, surely you have an alternate strategy, right? A way to get the situation under control? Mr. Ning, another visitor has arrived. What's this now? She says she's a deputy minister from the Judicial Review Office with urgent business to discuss with you. She insists on coming in. The Judicial Review Office? I suppose I will have to let her in. My sincerest apologies, but I must excuse myself for a moment. Shiku, please continue chatting with our guest here. How are you doing tonight, by the way, Zelda Sheik? While I remember to ask. A deputy minister? You don't think it's Lin Qingyan, do you? Glad to have you here, Kaiju. You know her too? Anyone who deals with the Tianxi bureaus has at least heard of her. I've heard Bai Shan, the Blue Thunder Count, is senior to her Shifu. She's skilled in Lei Fa and solves cases as quick as lightning. But I'm not sure why she has come to see my grandfather. You waited until I was asleep and then locked me in this room. Why? I'm not a 3-year-old, you know. Let me out of here. Dang it, I'm supposed to meet that lady now. I didn't even get her contact, so I can't call her. What am I gonna do? Excuse me. No, I can't break the door down. They might kick me out of here, and then I'd have no place to stay. Yeah, from a certain perspective, it does look like she's talking to me, doesn't it? But this window... I'm on the 18th floor, huh? That's not that high. Alright, I'll jump. Reminder, people in this universe are at least twice as strong as the average human by default. So, falling out of a 3rd-story window, not a problem for people like her. Especially considering the fact that she's among the exceptionally stronger people in this universe. I do wish I could fall multiple stories without breaking a sweat, let alone breaking a bone. I wish that so much. Miss, you've been standing here for ages. Are you going to make a purchase or not? Sir, let me ask you again. This painting here, Springtime in the Garden, is it truly an original work by Xu Jiang? Miss, you can ask anyone around here. They all know my shop only sells authentic goods. I certainly know how to spot a fake painting. Look at the technique, the essence of the painting. Who else but Xu Jiang could have done that? I'm no art expert, but I see a serious anachronism in this painting. These grapes on the table here, this particular variety of grapes, was not introduced from Gaul into Yan until the year 628. However, this painting is from the year 580. How do you explain that? Oh, come on. That's quite a nit to pick, isn't it? You're just trying to bargain down the price, aren't you? I've seen your type so many times before. I'm warning you, you won't like me when I'm angry.
Good sir, I never intended to buy your painting in the first place. Why would I be trying to bargain with you? Besides, what I said about the grapes is true. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Look it up if you don't believe me. If you think I'm wrong, then prove it. Get as angry as you want. It won't turn your fake painting into a real one.
If you don't want to buy it, then why are you standing here? I swear to you, if I'm selling any fakes in this shop, may heaven strike me down where I stand.
Why is there a canopy above the upper floor? Blaze? How did you... I'm not late, am I?
Well, that was a short and seemingly pointless intermission. Give me just one moment, folks. I'm back. Sorry for making you wait. I've had so many guests visiting lately. Apologies. You are?
My name is Lin Qingyan. I am a deputy minister with the Judicial Review Office. I came here to ask you a few questions, Mr. Ning.
The Judicial Review Office, you say? I haven't talked to anyone there in many, many years. I'm not even sure who's in charge there anymore. Is it Yu Chang?
Yu Chang? No, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Deputy Minister Yu is no longer working with us.
Ah, that's right. Now I remember. One of the Blue Thunder Count's Lei Fa students transferred from the Tianxi bureaus to the Judicial Review Office. Well, that must be you, yes? I heard that Tianxi Bai was transferred back to Baijiao a while ago, yet he still hasn't come to see me. Not even for some tea or a bite to eat. I guess he doesn't have time for this old retiree.
These are extraordinary times we are living in. The Tianxi bureaus must be extremely busy. I'll mention it to the Count next time I see him.
Mention it, the Count. Sorry for going off on a tangent there. Please, sit down and have some tea.
They sit down in an elegant room that's tastefully decorated and furnished. There seems to be an empty space on the wall where a painting should be hanging. The part of the wall that had once been covered by the painting is a slightly different color, which makes it stick out even more. Mr. Ning, the tea is elegant, and so are you. Everything in this room is excellent, but something's missing. A painting, perhaps?
Yes, the missing painting is, in fact, a longevity painting that someone gave me many years ago. It's supposed to help you live longer, but, as the saying goes, the older you grow, the heavier birthdays feel. I believe it served its purpose.
I would not have expected you to be superstitious, Mr. Ning.
Growing old has left me at fate's mercy. Hardly free to act as I wish. It must make you laugh, yes?
But I heard that a thief tampered with one of your paintings recently. They sealed the lips of the painting with honey. It's an old folk custom to celebrate the New Year. They do this in hopes that the stove god will only say good things and not bad things. Whoever the thief was, they had some other motive in mind besides theft. Why did you not report this vandalism?
If I never reported it, then how do you know about it?
One of my colleagues is handling this case. I saw the case file, but the one who first reported it, I don't believe was anyone from your estate.
Well, I'm glad there's at least someone out there who cares about an old man like me. I would not have expected you to believe in those folk tales, Deputy Minister Lin. I am a mere citizen. You, on the other hand, are a Mandarin, and your time is valuable. You came here today to ask me something. Just go ahead and ask me directly, please.
I came here to ask you about someone, not something. Do you remember an individual named Gu Xuan? Gu Xuan? I don't know. 10 years ago, Gu Xuan accompanied some Yanese dignitaries on an official visit to Victoria. They encountered a catastrophe, a blizzard, along the way, and poor Gu drowned in a river. Have you any memory of that, Mr. Ning?
Yes, how can I forget? I believe it was December. It definitely happened in the winter. By the time the news reached Baijiao, it was almost the new year. I remember the messenger told us that after the storm came in, the envoys got trapped on the mountain. Gu Quan stayed at the back of the line, helping shepherd everyone else across the river. In the end, he's the one who ended up falling in.
By the way, I suspect they're referring to the Chinese New Year, which is much closer. Oh well, then again, I guess the New Year is in winter. I don't know why I was thinking of summer. Maybe I'm just that excited for the upcoming Halloween. Or maybe I was getting mixed up with the local holiday of Pioneer Day that was celebrated last week. Sigh the River. Unless it's Sai-Te, and it just happens to be spelled like two English words.
The river must have been freezing cold.
It looks like that incident made quite an impact on you.
Gu Quan was a very good worker. He served the ministry very well. He was very well read and had excellent calligraphy. It's a pity he had no family. The only remnant of him is a cenotaph in Cemetery of the Virtuous. Every year, the Ministry of Rights sends someone to tend it and pay their respects.
No family?
Look at me, blathering on again. Well, anyway, why do you mention Gu Quan?
A Yanese diplomat dying in a foreign country. That is a major international incident. According to the laws of Yan, both Yan and the other country must send experts to conduct a joint investigation and compile a final report. Pardon me again, everyone. Hold on. Alright. However, after Gu Quan's death, the Ministry of Rights did no such thing. Even more startling is that the Judicial Review Office's records of the case are remarkably sparse.
I'm confused. This is clearly a question for the Judicial Review Office. Why are you asking me? I was in the Ministry of Rights.
Well then, let me remind you. 2 months before the team left on their mission, Gu Quan was just an ordinary 9th-rank Mandarin. How did he suddenly get promoted to envoy, much less be sent on a mission to Victoria? Well, you are the one who signed Gu Quan's transfer order. At the time, you were the Minister of Rights.
Ha! Now I understand. You're saying that I deliberately arranged for Guquan to go on a diplomatic mission to Victoria, and then disposed of him.
No, that's not what I'm saying. There is something strange going on here. I intend to solve these cases one by one, and I humbly ask for your guidance, Mr. Ning.
Since you're so curious about all this, why not ask me a few more pointed questions? Do you think it's odd that I, as a former Minister of Rights, would trouble myself over a mere 9th rank ceremonial officer? Are you implying, perhaps, that he discovered some unspeakable secret about me? So you're just here to ask me about a 10-year-old case?
This guy chuckles a lot.
No matter, ask whatever you wish. Just remember, if you keep asking the same questions, you will keep getting the same answers. What kind of answers do you want?
Truthful ones.
Haha! I already have one foot in the grave. What reason do I have to deceive you? Then again, if you suspect me of committing so many crimes, then you surely don't view my testimony as credible.
I just want you to tell me why Guquan was suddenly transferred. Once you tell me that, I'll be able to figure out the rest of it.
Okay. You came all this way to see me, so I think I should tell you what you want to know. Guquan was indeed transferred for a reason, because he specifically requested it.
He wanted the transfer?
Yes, he said that he was ill and was afraid he didn't have much time left, so he wanted to return to his hometown in Victoria to live out the rest of his days. So I agreed to let him join the delegation to Victoria.
What illness did he have?
I'm not clear on the details either. I only vaguely remember that Guquan did seem to be in poor spirits around that time. But as such a low-level Mandarin, Guquan would not have had many opportunities to even meet you.
Oh, I didn't realize this was Lin talking. Whoops. But as such a low-level Mandarin, Guquan would not have had many opportunities to even meet you. How did he make such a request?
To be honest, it's a bit embarrassing, but there was a hint of selfishness on my part as well. Guquan had magnificent penmanship, so I sometimes had him write letters for me. I also asked him to serve as my children's calligraphy tutor. He had done so much for me, I felt I owed him a favor. Besides, I did not feel his request stemmed from greed. Ugh. That's all there is to say about Guquan's transfer. Do you have any other questions for me?
Since I've heard it directly from you, I'll take what you're saying at face value. However, I disagree with one thing you said.
What?
Anyone who wants to know the truth, be they a Mandarin or an ordinary citizen, does not need a special reason for doing so. Please know, Mr. Ning, that I am indeed only after the truth. I have no other motives. Now I shall take my leave, sir.
Good day, madam. Say, where is Lang Jun?
It's rather late, grandfather. I saw the young man out many hours ago.
Goodness, he was meeting with was it Lin for several hours? What the heck?
My word, you invited him in to have dinner, and then you had him wait there forever. 'Tis a poor way to treat a guest.
Yes, where are my manners? Tell him I apologize, and please let him know that he's welcome to come back any time. Next time I will be a proper host. I owe him that much.
Lang is a reasonable man. I am sure he'll understand.
By the way, his name is Lang Jun, right? Which Jun is that? How do you write it?
It's that Jun with 3 dots on the left.
That one in Shunmei Kei. A spray of spring gifted to you. Such a beautiful name. I'm rather fond of it. I've heard that people with the 3 dots in their name characters are as clever and swift as water.
Funny. The others all say he's as dull as a board.
The old man walks to the table, picks up a pen, and adds another name to the invite list. Maybe he is rather dull. He came all this way to see his sweetheart, but look at the gifts he brought. Yumen's tea, some strange liquor called Li Daoji. These seem more like gifts meant for me.
Lin Qingyan, wait. Who's there?
Lin Qingyan gets a strange feeling she's rarely felt before. A woman with a sword advances to within a zhang of Lin Qingyan, yet she doesn't even notice her, until she is standing right in front of her. Ooh! That's a sick character design!
Your uniform. You're an Imperial Guard?
Oh, now I gotta finish the mission to see what to get a proper look at this lady's outfit. That sword looked pretty neat, but I was only able to glimpse it.
Come quick, Professor. There's still a ripe berry on that vine.
Don't keep nothing to mask the scent of despair.
Splendida giornata quest'oggi. So much hate and resentment have no place, but in a burst of autumn red.
So long as you're here, have some hot soup before you go.
Don't keep me waiting.
Oh! I didn't bring Blaze. Whoops. And why is Ifrit here? What did I use this squad for? Well, that was interesting in the music.
Hide your fear.
The lava surges on.
Not to swallow, huh?
And let's set the wolves on fire. That is a deadly combo right there.
I know what to do to hide your fear.
So much flowers imbibe. The ladies suit and tie dance with her blade.
I didn't notice this was a river over here. Makes it look even more pleasant.
I know what to do better watch your step.
Why the rush?
The revolt oiled into hot viscous like shines on us.
Look at them wolves go. Yeah, these two are a very dangerous combination. I love it. I'll need to do a few runs of different game modes sometime and try out that pairing in various situations. Ooh, look at this background.
Blaze, what do you think of this one?
Not bad.
What I mean is, do these tangerine cakes taste like the ones you remember?
Well, not exactly. They're still not as sweet as the ones I had before. They also don't have quite the same mouthfeel.
That's strange.
This place uses traditional cooking methods. Their snacks are definitely authentic.
They haven't changed their recipes in 100 years. 100 years? Have tangerine cakes even been around that long? No, tangerine cakes are not quite that old, but many famous Baijiao snacks do have quite a long history. The tangerine cake you were looking for were actually invented by a scholar who came to Baijiao to study in its early years. The scholar's hometown was famous for its tangerines. After he moved to Baijiao, he missed those tangerines. It was too far to go home and get them, so he improvised. He smashed up some old dried tangerine peels and made them into dough, added some sugar, shortening, and spices, and baked them. It was a cheap, easy way to get his tangerine fix. He gave the recipe to his landlord in lieu of paying rent. He even wrote a small poem about them. These tangerine cakes are bright and fresh, just like the orange groves back home. After the scholar passed the imperial examination and assumed office, the tangerine cakes became very famous. People began to view them as a symbol of homesickness. Interesting. Symbolic food. First time I've ever heard something like that. Yan is a vast land with many different climate zones, each with their own cash crops and produce. That's why there are many different types of Yanese cuisine. You can trace all of Yan's history through its food. I need to adjust my seat position. Hold on. Maybe I just need to get up and walk around. I'm feeling antsy. Not gonna do that, though. Ill-timed yawn. For example, Yan's 4 major cuisines match up with its 4 great restaurants, which predate Baijiao's transformation into a nomadic city. Cities develop, but flavors remain. It'd be odd to find any snack without its own bit of history behind it. One of my colleagues told me that there are many different kinds of tianxis in Yan. You know so much about food, you must be some kind of tasty food tianxi, right? If there really was such an individual, someone who could use arts to transform, stones into vegetables, that might be worth studying, eh? Alas, I am just an amateur foodie. I like to take notes on the food I eat and its history. Over the years, I've compiled several notebooks full of such information. To put it another way, Blaze, if there really were a better recipe for tangerine cakes out there, surely someone here would know about it. But I'm telling you, the ones I had when I was younger, they were sweeter and just better. That really is rather odd. Traditional tangerine cakes emphasize the fresh essence of the tangerines, not the taste of their pulp. Very little sugar is used, because tangerine cakes are supposed to be a light snack. You're telling me you've eaten much sweeter tangerine cakes, and I'm telling you that I've never heard of such a thing. Maybe we can ask one of the chefs around here to try cooking up a batch with extra sugar so you can compare. But even if we do that, it doesn't prove that the sweeter variety of tangerine cakes ever actually existed before. What I want to know is, how did the taste of these tangerine cakes change during their journey from Baijiao to Victoria? I'm sure there's a story there somewhere. Thessa tangerine threw me off there. It seems you're just as much of a foodie as I am. I was afraid you'd get tired of traipsing off to all these restaurants. You're the guide. You lead, I follow. Alright then, let's keep looking. My word, look at the time. We should have lunch first. Lunch? Yes, it's lunchtime. Shouldn't we have some lunch? But I just finished eating snacks from 5 different restaurants. Snacks are snacks, but lunch is lunch. You must have a proper lunch, you know. I don't think my tummy has any more room for lunch. I know one restaurant that I can guarantee won't make your tummy ache. Will you give it a try? You're the foodie here, so I and my stomach trust you. What's wrong? I feel like we're being followed. There's the chef kid. Who's not actually a kid and is potentially 100 years old or so. I don't know. You're an Imperial Guard? No, no, no. Without dark steel armor, I'm not a proper member of the Imperial Guards. Officially, I'm a captain serving with the Yulin Guards. Yeah, that sword looks awesome. As does the rest of the outfit, but that sword is a nice touch. Great hair, too. She wears it well. Deputy Minister Lin, I doubt you'd want to encounter anyone wearing dark steel armor anyway. Certainly not in broad daylight. I once heard Taihei mention that there is a junior drill master serving in the ranks of the Imperial Guard apprentices. She's very young, but skilled beyond her years. That must be you. You're the junior drill master. I guess Taihei's still sore that I beat him in a couple matches last month. There's no need for name-calling, though. No matter. I'd like to ask you, what are you doing here? I'm investigating a case. Does that case have anything to do with the former Minister of Rights? Has the Judicial Review Office issued you a search warrant? Ugh. You're just a drill master. You have no authority to question whatever warrants I may or may not have, do you? You have no authority to question my authority. Just answer my questions, please. Very well. I heard you were on a long business trip just recently. You left Baijiao for a while, did you not? That's right. I went to go question a witness in an old case and update the case files. What old case? From when? What witness? Why are you just investigating it now? I don't understand your line of questioning. If the Yulin Guards want to investigate the Judicial Review Office, I'll go submit the necessary documentation immediately. If that still isn't enough for you, I can have the Minister of the Judicial Review Office report to the Yulin Guards for questioning. Predicted commentator woo. Well, they got the predicted commentator bit right. My questions have nothing to do with the Judicial Review Office. They only concern you, Deputy Minister Lin. So, you went to investigate an old case. What did you learn? Too much time has passed, so the trail has gone cold. I didn't learn anything. Nothing? Really? Are you sure? Nothing. Alright, I believe you. However, remember that you are speaking to the Yulin Guards here. Your answers carry great weight. Very good. I'm done discussing official business for now. So you still have some personal business you wish to discuss? Taihei, that dumb Forte, told me he doesn't have many friends in government. Well, you now count as one. Well, I must warn you, don't stick your neck out too far. Your worries are unfounded. I'm just pursuing the truth here, as it is my job to do. I'm not putting myself at any additional risk. Very good. Give Taihei my regards. I bet she's gonna be the big boss of this arc somehow. They are questioning why I'm here. Well, why are the Yulin Guards here? Their presence here, I think, is proof that I'm on the right track. Starting to feel pretty tired here, folks, and I do need to be going to bed at a better time, so I'll probably call it here fairly soon. I intend to stream this again tomorrow. Thursday will be a toss-up, depending on whether or not Kaiju can do Pal World. And Friday, it'll depend on when I get home from a game night. Phew! Boy, am I stuffed! I never would have guessed that a roadside stand could make such amazing wontons. They're certainly better than the ones in the Rhodes Island cafeteria freezer. I'm so stuffed that I want to just take a nap right here. After eating all that greasy street food, a nice hearty bowl of wontons is the perfect thing to settle your stomach. The famous restaurants need no introduction. As your guide in Baijiao, I figured I'd share some of my favorite lesser-known food spots. Well, I'm lucky to have found such a good tour guide. Thank you. Well, I'm also glad to have found a culinary companion. I tend to eat alone, which means I can only order 1 or 2 entrees for myself.
You know what they say, the more the merrier. Now that I'm here, you can order as much food as you want. Am I the only one that heard Eggman speaking this line in my head? Did anybody else hear that? Speaking of food, what is in these wontons anyway? They're fantastic! Just meat and celery. The key ingredient is the soup. Most places use Shelby's caviar in wonton soup to enhance the flavor. Unfortunately, the finniness of the caviar crowds out the other flavors. This place uses soybean sprouts instead. This makes for a milder soup, which allows the flavor of the wontons to shine. The meat filling for the wontons is fresh beef's belly. After the wontons are cooked, the bits of fat will naturally seep into the soup. These wontons are light yet delicious. They are made of high-quality ingredients which are hard to find elsewhere. Well, do these wontons have a history? Do tell. Not really. I just really like this particular wonton shop, I guess. When I get writer's block or need a little pick-me-up, I come here to eat a bowl of wontons. The shopkeeper has been making wontons her whole life. She used to own this shop together with her husband. Her husband fell ill and passed away, leaving her to raise her child alone. Later, her son joined the army, but he died in a catastrophe up north several years ago. She's still running the place all by herself. She says she wants to continue the family legacy and preserve their authentic taste. What a sad story. There are many such sad stories. There is no joy without pain. Over the years, as I've been coming to this shop, I've helped the lady with an errand or two. In return, she told me her family's secret recipe. She hopes that one day, after she's gone, I can pass on her craft to the next generation. I have something I want to ask you. Are you really going through all this trouble with the tangerine cakes just because you made a bet with the young chef? Why do you ask? I simply noticed that you weren't terribly focused on the taste of the delicacies at all. It seemed like you had some other purpose in mind. Was it that obvious? Wow. When you watch people eat, you see into their souls. Sorry, I was just curious. If I've intruded on your privacy, I sincerely apologize. Hey now, we're friends. I'm not keeping secrets from you. You're right, I'm not really that concerned about the bet. Those tangerine cakes, well, my father used to send them to me when he was living in Baizhou. Your father, was he Yanese? Whatever. I don't have anything to hide from you. I grew up in Victoria, and my father is Yanese. One year, he suddenly returned to Yan for some reason. I never saw him again, and he died over a decade later in a land foreign to me. I'm sorry, Blaze. It's not your fault. Why do you keep apologizing? I didn't think much about it at first, but yesterday, when you mentioned that sweet tangerine cakes are unusual, I thought someone who knows how to make those cakes might have also known my dad. Your dad was also... He was also what? Oh, nothing. Well, I promise you that I will do everything in my power to help you find out the truth about your father. You're such a contradiction. So bold when you eat, yet so refined when you speak. When we're eating together, it's all good fun. We're good friends. Why do you turn into a different person as soon as you put down your chopsticks? Friends. And another thing, why are you helping me look for these tangerine cakes in the first place? Well, I'm writing a book. Most cookbooks today only contain recipes from renowned chefs, yet the streets in the countryside are full of unique delicacies that few people ever pay heed. I hope to collect all these recipes in a book. Perhaps years later, people will read this book and learn of Baizhou's unique cuisine. It's just a silly dream of mine is all. And also... What? I think I'll keep that a secret for now. Well, as long as we're out here, you might as well take me to a few more places, yeah? Sure. Where do you want to go? Let me see.
This letter mentions the Virtue Bookstore, the Humble Garden, and the Baijiao Academy. Hey, what does this word mean? Can you let me have a look? This is a letter? Why is it so greasy? I didn't do that. It was like that when I opened it. I don't know what my dad was doing when he wrote it. So these are all letters that your father wrote to you? Yeah, the few that I managed to save. Strange. This stationery, it's... What is it? Nothing. It's just that most of the places mentioned in this letter no longer exist. Huh? But it was only written a decade ago! For Baizhou, a decade is enough for the whole city to change. Have you noticed that anything has changed since arriving in Baijiao? Well, aside from the food, there are all these energy poles all over the place. It seems like kind of a waste. It may seem wasteful, but in fact we have no other choice. The city of Baijiao was founded a long, long time ago. At that time, Yan had just experienced a great war and the country was in dire straits. However, suddenly, an extremely rich orogenium vein was discovered right next to the ruins of a battlefield. Wow, what impeccable timing! You Yanese sure are lucky. No, it wasn't lucky at all. The orogenium vein was rich. Too rich. It attracted too many orogenium particles in one place, which eventually led to catastrophe. Basically, not only was it difficult to mine, but it also created a vast stretch of land that was prone to catastrophes. And there was nothing the Yanese could do about it. I'm having a really hard time keeping my eyes open right now, chat. I just about fell asleep for a second there. Real sorry about that. Closed my eyes for a minute to try and let them focus, and it almost went too far. That is until one of the Tianxis had an idea. They could build a city right on top of the orogenium vein. The city infrastructure would deplete the excess orogenium energy, preventing further catastrophes. Building a city on top of an orogenium mine? That sounds like a recipe for disaster. It was indeed an extremely dangerous undertaking. However, the True Lung decided to go ahead with it, and that's how Baijiao was founded. How did they do it? I can't even imagine. Honestly, I'm not totally sure either. In all the Yanni's history books, there is only a single passage that talks about that period. Skilled individuals were sent to the disaster zone, and after 53 years of effort, a city was built and established as the capital. The city was named Baijiao, with the hope of tending all cooking stoves under heaven. As for the more advanced technical details, you'd probably have to look at some of the materials from the Tianxi bureaus. That's beyond my area of expertise. Alright, I need to stand up for a minute. Alrighty, I'm back. So to this day, the Baijiao government still encourages us to use this energy. Baijiao is constantly changing. That's how these skyscrapers appeared, as well as the numerous nomadic city plates. And what happened to the people who built the city? I was about to say, that better not be the end of the cutscene. I'm completely stuffed, but I still haven't found the taste I'm looking for. I've taken you to every restaurant I know that sells such cakes. Maybe tomorrow we can go look in some of the larger restaurants. Burp. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? You looked the whole day, yet you couldn't find your so-called authentic tangerine cakes, could you? You were following us all day? You were afraid we would find better food, weren't you? Me? Afraid? Bah! I already told you before, if you're looking for the best chef in Baijiao, you've already found him. If I can't cook it, no one else can. Blaze, I've tasted his food. It really is quite excellent. A rare treat. You really know how to flatter. Besides, you're arguing over the details and how a single pastry is made. How could that possibly be the standard for judging a chef's skill? Still, I can see that you, chef, are still curious about these sweet tangerine cakes that Blaze is talking about, are you not? Not really. How about this? You two set aside your bet, and we'll see where we can find these sweet tangerine cakes. That way, Blaze will find the tangerine cakes she's looking for, and you, chef, will learn a new recipe. Sounds like a delightful arrangement, no? Huh? What? What about my 1 month of free meals? My cooking skills are so superb that no one can match them. But there are other chefs that I respect. If I had to name one in particular, it would be... Well, it would be... Who? The head chef of Ding Fang Lao, the highest rated of the 4 grade restaurants. You mean Mr. Mo Bufu? Everyone at Ding Fang Lao is busy preparing for the Feast of 100 Delicacies. That means the old man is prepping for his last feast. His last feast? You mean he's retiring? Who knows? That old man's been challenging people left and right lately. Really showing off. What are you waiting for? Let's go! It's not so simple. Chef Mo is quite an important man. He is responsible for the entire feast. We can't bother him with trifling matters such as some tangerine cakes. The girl is clever, but she's only half right. If you really do want to go meet him, I have a way. Last month's receipts? No, not in this pocket. Ah, here it is. An invitation to the Ding Fang Lao chef selection. Blaze, we won't get many opportunities to meet Chef Mo. Then what are we waiting for? Whoever's going to the competition, take me with you. As to who will participate in the competition? Huh? What are you looking at me for?
Take a breather and tally up your losses. Nothing worth
Well, all right.
celebrating here. We might be dead in a second or two.
Put on memento again. I took off my headphones for just a little bit there. I think having the pressure on my head was part of what was making me tired. That said, it is now midnight. And if I do another mission... Well, I'm afraid I might start falling asleep long before it's done. Tomorrow I hope to start much earlier and with much better energy. But for now, I unfortunately must be calling it here. Hopefully I'll be able to find a way to stream the rest of the missions this week. This event ends in... I think that says 8 days, so... Next Wednesday, I believe, is when it ends. I should be able to stream it all by then, somehow. Even if it means streaming in the midday Saturday before I get onto Metroid. Well, we'll see.
For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You may find my YouTube and Discord in my Twitch profile, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you may find my Twitch at the WinterPrince52. Also, YouTubers, please leave comments. I love them. Thanks again, everyone. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Good night.